Hello Flosstube everyone, welcome back to my wee world. This is my second video, a week later than planned, but I do have a new release to show you, and I also want to show you later on in the video an antique sampler that I've purchased, and one of three actually that I've purchased in the last couple of years, and I plan on charting that in 2021. It's beautiful, it's really colourful, and I hope you'll like them both. So for those of you new to my channel, my name is Martina. I'm an Irish lass living in Berlin, Germany. And I talk more about myself in my first Flosstube video, so after you've watched this one, by all means go back and watch that one too. This is a channel about cross stitch, a little bit of quilting, and showing some of my needlework and textiles that I've picked up along the way on my travels and living here in Germany. Okay, so the next thing, I'll need to look at my notes again or else I'll forget everything, but yeah, the first thing is I hope you had a very happy Christmas and Happy New Year to you all. My Christmas was really quiet. We're in full lockdown here and it's been extended till the end of January now. So let's hope that 2021 brings us all a safer year, and it's a good one for all of you. I do want to say thank you so much for all the lovely, lovely comments on my first video, and also on Instagram on my posts. On Instagram I'm ExpandingStitches as well. They were wonderful. They gave me so much encouragement because I was so nervous, and I still am nervous. But everyone was just so kind and gave their thoughts on lighting or on what they thought, and that's what I love about this community. It's wonderful. It's so supportive, and it really did my heart good. So thank you very, very much. It gives me the courage to keep going with this, and yeah, and follow my dreams, which is cross stitch designing and long arming, which I love. I finally decided to do it, and yeah, doing it all on my own, so I'm getting there, but I love it. So again, thank you so much, and if you do like my videos, I would love if you could subscribe. It will help me out loads and loads, and thank you so much. I just wanted to say that. It really was wonderful. Okay, so finishes I think I'll talk about first. Well, what I did on Christmas, my first finish for 2021 was a gift for my best friend here, Inga, and her birthday was in January, and I've already gifted it to her, so I can't show you the actual piece, but because she truly is a friend for all seasons, I had bought this chart in 2018 and I hadn't stitched it yet. I had the little beads that came with it, so it was the chart and the beads that I purchased. And it's another Lizzie Kate, and it's Friends for All Seasons, and I stitched it on a 32 count Zweigart. I think it was it Vintage Country Mocha? I need to look on Instagram again to see what one it was. I forgot to write it down now, but I finished it in this frame. And of course I cropped the picture too small. This is only on photocopy paper. It's not even photo paper, but I'll bring it up a little bit closer, the picture. So I put it inside this frame that I got in like a thrift store, charity store. It's quite a glossy gold, but it worked really well, I thought, with the pumpkin colors. And also because the little charms that came with the kit, there's a little butterfly that came with it. There was a snail, a little acorn, and the little snowflake that goes on the snowman's hat. And it just seemed to just pick it out lovely. So if you want to see more pictures of the finish, I put them on Instagram, and you can take a look at those. But I stitched that up really quickly. It was a lovely stitch, and I really enjoyed it. So that was my first finish for 2021. and yeah, a lot of love went into every stitch, but she's a lovely person, so and she did love it, so it was really cool. So that's Lizzie Kate's Friends for All Seasons. And then my second stitch, well, my second finish, FFO, fully finish, well, basically designed, fully finished everything, was my next release, which is called Red Roses and Chocolates, Red Roses and Chocolate, and that's it in my Etsy store. It's a PDF download in Expanding Stitches, and that's just this one. So it's a 2-part piece. So that's that, and I finished it as just a flat finish, ribbons along the side, a little bow, little tassels. Believe it or not, those little tassels I had, they're little leather tassels, and they match perfectly. They came off a pair of old shoes. But I kept them because I thought they were cute and I didn't know what I needed them for, and then finally found a place for them. So this is Red Roses in Chocolate, the first part, and I finished it on the back with batik fabric. It's mounted on 2 boards with 2 mat boards, and that's the first part. And it's not very big, it's only 105 by 120, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then the second little part of it is a little gift tag, my heart to you, or my love to you if you want to do that. So that's the same, it's just finished with the batik on the front or on the back, and a little flat fold at the side. I didn't put any ribbon around that because it's so small, but I tucked the little ribbon in between when I was gluing them together. So what I did with this one is I had bought which I showed in the first video, the Weeks Dye Works blush in 32 count, and I knew straight away when I bought this, it just popped into my head exactly what I wanted to do. So I quickly went ahead and charted it up and came up with this, and I loved it. It just spoke to me, maybe because when I'm working on Santa's Greatest Gift I was munching lots of chocolates and thinking of Valentine's Day coming up, and also Mother's Day or a birthday gift, and I deliberately didn't want to put any writing on it, any alphabet or anything, because if I'd put Valentine's Day, I wanted something you could leave out all year round, or you could give somebody for a gift. So it suits really all occasions. But what I like about it is, it says in the chart it's 101, but when you're charting, it actually, the program counts the maximum number of stitches across and high. But you're not actually stitching 101 stitches across, because you've got all the fabric around the sides. And I deliberately like to leave space because we all love our over-dyed fabrics. And I think it's a way to showcase the over-dyed fabrics, that you see a little bit more of the fabric than having it closed in tight. So I've deliberately left space. So actually, you know, you've got hardly any stitching really to do. I stitched this up in an evening, and it was really enjoyable and a simple stitch. I stitched it 2 over 2 on 32 count. Sorry, I'll just take a sip of water. My voice is going again. And that's why I thought I'll put the little gift tag separately, so you could just stitch up the little gift tag and give it for, if you wanted to give it as a present. I thought that would be kind of a handy little thing to have, or you could give the two together. So I finished it on a mat board. I had the mat board, and then I put wadding on the mat board. And then what I did was, because I realized when you look at a fabric, I'll just pop this down for a second. This was the Weeks Dye Work blush, which is a pinky color. You should be able to see the color here. When you have, it's a bit like with quilting, when you're doing long arm quilting, if you've got a white fabric on the top and there are any dark threads underneath, they shadow through, you can see them. So this, in a sense, it's quite a lovely pink when it's bundled up like this. It's beautiful, but and it's still beautiful when it's finished, but it gets a little bit more diluted when you go down to one layer, like you can see now. You're going down, it's paler. So because I wanted to photograph the chart as well, I decided to enhance it, and this is a tip you could use. Now, where's that little piece of fabric? There you go. Excuse me for a minute. I took some pink quilting fabric, which is a very pale pink. I didn't want to go with a darker pink because then you'll see the gaps through on the linen. And you can use this, you can do this chart on Ada or any other even weave. There's no speciality stitches, no beads. It's very simple, and it's very simple to count, so it's perfect for a beginner. And the chart has actually 4 charts in it. So you've black and white, color, blocks, color symbols. Excuse me. So I put the pale pink fabric underneath, on top of the wadding, and underneath it. And if you see here, you can see, should be able to see, you see where you can see the little square of pink, and it just puts it enhances the pink that's in the fabric already without it being too dominant. So that's a tip if you ever have a fabric that you think is looking a little bit paler than you'd like. I love it without it as well. I just knew that when I'd photograph it, it would look a little bit paler because I'm not a professional photographer with filters and everything. I don't know how to use those. So that's red roses in chocolate. And then I just did a little bow and popped a little bead on the top and popped the trim around the side. I laced it at the back. So you have the mat board, you've got the wadding, you've got the pale pink, and then you've got your stitching over the top. And then I wrapped it round and I laced it on the first mat board. And then I did a second mat board covered with just the quilting fabric, the batik. And then I glued them together, and in between I glued the little pom-pom trim, which is really, really cute. And I'm really pleased with it. So yeah, so it's red roses in chocolate, and it's in my Etsy store. And as I said, you can use it. This is a pink even weave. You could even use it on. It would look lovely as well. You've got the pink, so it's the same. Or a Zweigart, do a pink. In the chart, I've got the color of the Zweigart pink that would go really, really nice with it as well. But you can see it'll work really, really well. So it's beginner friendly, and yeah, I hope you like it. And as I said, it's in my Etsy store, so thank you. So yeah, so that's red roses and chocolate. Okay, so whips. I know everybody's been doing wonderful whip parades, and they're fabulous to see. Incredible. I don't actually have very many whips. I'm the type of person that if I will probably have whips, because there's a couple I do want to start, and they're going to take quite a long time to finish. So I'll definitely have more whips this year. For example, Pandemic, I want to do that. I bought a hank of over-dyed green thread, and I want to try to do it in green. So that is a plan as well to start, but that will go over a couple of years, I think. I'll just enjoy stitching that as I go along. But my first, I'll just move these out of the way so I don't get distracted. My first whip, I suppose, is one I started in 2019, and it's Riolus, and it's the Little Cats on a Roof series. And without showing the chart on the back, there's a whole series of the little cats. And I thought it was really cute. This is the 2 cats on a roof, that particular one. And it's a kit. So it comes with an Ada. It's a stiff Ada, or Aida, either way you want to say it. And that's where I've got it. The floss that comes in this. I mean, it's a really nice, it's full coverage though, which I hadn't done before. It's quite nice, but I put it aside because the colors of the floss are beautiful, but I think they're a mixture of a wool and acrylic, and I personally don't particularly like the feel of them, for me. Or maybe it's just the combination with the Asia that I'm using, but I will get back to it. I will finish it. I've done so much in it, I'm definitely going to finish it. But I have the other charts, so sometime in the future I'll probably pass the love on and give those away in a giveaway. So that's that one. But the beautiful design, I mean, it's so cute. It's lovely. I might even restitch it again in DMC or another floss. I think it'll be really cute. So that's one whip. Just pop that down there. Excuse me. So the second one, now don't laugh at this, but I'll show you this. The second one is Lizzie Kate. When you laugh, you'll see what I mean when I show the piece of fabric that I'm stitching it on. And this is Lizzie Kate's Summer Smalls that I started. So that's that, Summer Smalls, which is another little cute. I went through quite a phase of picking up a lot of little Lizzie Kates, as well as a lot of other charts that I can show you in future videos. But I dare not pull them all out at the moment because there's, yeah, I've been well enabled by all the FlossTubers, shall we say. So this was an old piece of, I don't even know where I got this. I know it's an even weave. I think it's 32 count approximately, which would be about 16 count in Ada. 32 count, 16 count in Ada if you're doing 2 over 2. And I wanted to stitch in hand to see what it was like. So I basically just grabbed a scrap and played around. And I didn't even use the call for colors. I just grabbed some old threads that I had and had been gifted and found. And yeah, but this was the old scrap. And look, some dearie, when I bought it, had done the blanket stitch all the way around that she had used. And I just kept it on it while I was stitching it. And I'm not scared about stitching close to, I can quite happily leave like 1/2 of an inch because I'm used to quarter inch seams and 8-inch seams with quilting. So I'd have no problem finishing that off. And I'll take out all of this and overlock it and zigzag it. But so that's the whip. So it's nearly finished. It just needs a couple of little beads. So, and I just did the 3, but I'll make them into 3 individual little cushions. And I might make I've got one little bead on that's not even, it's just a bead I had in my stash. I put in the wee bird hat. And I think it came out quite cute. So I'm quite pleased about it. So it's technically still a whip because there's a couple of beads to go on the strawberries as well. So I've just got that to do and to fully finish it. So that's my whip. And I have a tiny little scissor fob that I bought at the Festival of Quilts from a lady, and I can't even say who because I can't find it. It's put in such a safe place that I don't know where I've put it. Well, I know I'll come across it and I have a little bit to do with it. But there's lots of French knots and it's literally about 1 inch square. And it's really cute, and it was my first time trying to do French knots that small and tiny little stitches, and it's on a plastic canvas type flexi mesh. I'm not sure what exactly you call it, but it'd be really cute when it's stitched up together. So I think that's all my whips at the moment, apart from, yes, well, the one big whip that I'm now taking my time with, because the chart's released and it's the digital rendition on the chart, which is this one, which is the one I talk about in my first video, which is Santa's Greatest Gift. So, and you'll see that in a minute. And there's the alternative that I know some people are stitching, where you can turn the nurse into a prim style lady, and that's in the chart as well. Now the colors aren't great because it's a digital rendition, but you'll see the real thing in a moment. So she can be turned into a little prim lady, which some people are liking to do. And I got on a little bit further in this one. As I was stitching Red Roses in Chocolate and also Inga's present, I didn't spend an awful lot of time on this because Red Roses in Chocolate I basically charted since the last video, charted, stitched, finished and released. But I did get a little bit done. I've got the tree all filled in. I'm peeking through the back now, so I'm not sure what you can see. It's still on the frame. And I filled in some more of the green. So I've done that little bit. So then that's the, and we're even in the camera, I'm not even sure. Okay, I'm peeking from behind. That's the tree. So basically the tree is a mirror image on this side. So I got a little bit more done of that. So you can see, so I just need to start the leaves. And I also got some of the flosses that I'd ordered. I'm not sure if you can see that or it was wobbly, but we'll see. We'll play back, so I'll just pop that over there. Stay. Good. Okay. So, okay, then the next thing is haul, I guess. And I did get some nice haul. I have some more ordered. It's coming. Parcels are taking an awful long time here. Okay, we've got a dusting of snow. It's not as cold as it normally is, but like lots of places in the world, the post is slowed down due to all the lockdowns. And at the moment it can be taking 2 weeks internally in Germany to get post, depending if it's outside the city that you're living in. And from overseas, it's taking over a month, even if it's from the UK. But I did pick up some haul I did pick up, and it did arrive, so I was delighted. So like everybody else on Flosstube that is delighted, I was lucky enough to be able to get my second book ever from Blackbird Designs. The first one I got was Home for the Holidays, and I bought that when I was over in the UK in 2018. And I found now a couple of places in the UK and in Germany that I can get some of the overdyed flosses, so that will help in the meantime while I get some orders in from the States. But of course that's what everybody's talking about, which is the Winds of Autumn from Blackbird Designs. So I was delighted to get that. I won't do a flick through because lots and lots of people have done a flick through, but I think the first chart that I'm really keen on to stitch is, well, there's two really. There's some beautiful samplers in here, but I must admit I really do like this little one. Where is it? And you'll know it when you see it, but I know it'll be a really quick stitch. But yeah, I just think that's lovely. And I am a bit of a Halloween nut. I do love, I love the idea of dressing up for Halloween and having a Halloween party. It just seems an awful shame that it's only like one day. It would be lovely if it was like a week of fun that we could all have for Halloween. But I do love Halloween cross-stitch charts, I've decided. I have quite a few. And no, I didn't get one. That one, I thought I'd got one. Another one recently. No, maybe it's on order and it hasn't arrived yet. But yes, that's this one, which is the drum. And I might do it as a drum with October 31st. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. But as you can see, there are some beautiful, from the cover, there are some beautiful charts. And Blackbird Design has lovely, lovely stuff. So I was yeah, I really like that. And Spell of the Moon I actually already have. I just haven't stitched it up yet, which is this little one with the owl that they released again. I had the original one, the first release. And obviously that massive big strawberry is really, really cute as well. So yeah, really excited about that like everybody else. And I also picked up another one when I was ordering that, and I think it was Niecy Lynn actually who's been doing some of these, or ones like them, but I picked up their other one, which was "'Tis Halloween." So that one came, and that's got some really cute little stockings. So I'd like to make some little ornaments. There's 13 stockings in this, and that one's particularly quite cute. And then there's, and I know lots of people have seen them. I mean, that little one, it's quite nice. Oops, don't show the chart. What other one is there? This little one is really cute, a big scaredy cat. And then candy corns. Yeah, I think they're my kind of favorites out of here. Oh, that's quite a fun one as well. It's like a butternut squash. So that little booklet I picked up. So that's "'Tis Halloween," the little booklet, which I'm sure you've all seen before. But I was delighted when I got it. So the other little bit of haul, chart-wise, that I got is a Prairie schooler. Well, 2 Prairie schoolers actually. And I'm going to start this for spring, I think. And I don't think it's going to take too long to stitch. So I'll probably be having a couple of things on the go, because I'll do a little bit more of Santa's Greatest Gifts and keep going on that. And then it'd be lovely if I get that finished by July, which I will be able to. It doesn't take that long. There's so much, there's a lot of empty space in there to show off the fabric as well. So I'm quite happy about that. So it'll be finished well in time for July. But the next book I got was a Prairie Schooler Birdsong. I'm sure it's available. I mean, I ordered it from a shop and got it, so I'm sure it must be still available somewhere. But I think it's quite cute. And the little cushions at the bottom. So that's Birdsong 1. There. And then just pop it out over here out of the way. And then this is the second one, which is Birdsong 2. Now, they're not brand new releases. I mean, this was released in, 2 was 2006. So they're older charts, but they're really pretty. So this is Birdsong 2. And I just think it's lovely. I think they're really, really pretty. The little woodpecker, and those woodpeckers actually, see them there? They're awfully like the woodpeckers that we have in the trees here in Germany, with the red and the coloured, the black and white. They look so colourful. So I'm looking forward to stitching up those ones, because I think they'll be lovely to leave out most of the year, which would be cool. And then I love Cricut as well, Cricut collection. And I picked up another old one. What year was that one done? Maybe it's 2019. Just checking to see what year it was released. Not 100% sure. It must be on there somewhere. I'll take a look again. But it's Farmer's Market, and I know people have stitched that up as well. But there's something quite cute about it. I think that's going to stitch up quite nice. And like everything else, when you're taking photographs and in charts, it never does them the same amount of justice as seeing the actual stitched pieces. So yeah, they're the charts that I've got. And as I said, I've got a couple more things on the way. Some Q-snap clamps, got 2 packets of those. I got my floss delivery, which is, I wanted to show before, which is, where's a piece of paper? I'll put the 2 of these back to back. Yeah, this was the blue spruce that I'd run out of for Santa's Greatest Gift. So, which is, I used in my design. And you can see, should be able to see the colouring a little bit on it. It's a little, it's it's sort of like spinach, and yeah, it's not showing up quite as well as it could do. Maybe we're going a little bit closer. Yeah, that's better now. You see some of the variation in it. It's a little bit like monkey grass, a little bit like spinach, but it's still slightly different. There's something quite special on that. So I picked up quite a few skeins of blue spruce. Though Santa's Greatest Gift, I'm stitching on 40 count, 1/1, or 1/2, sorry. So you don't actually use very much. I mean, a skein and a bit will cover, probably I think it's about 2.5 skeins for all the green, from what I'm using at the moment. So this will be into the second skein. So that's some blue spruce. Then I picked up to try out, because I didn't have this before, I picked up one of these, or did I pick up two of them? Two of them I've picked up, which is Turkish Red, which I think is really pretty, by Weeks Dye Works. Let me see if I can, yeah, you can kind of see the variegation there. Okay, and I picked up one more, which is, I don't think I showed in the last one, I can't remember. This is the second skein I have it, I know a couple of skeins, but it's Adobe, it's called. It's a nice brown. I think it'd be lovely in an autumny one, where you see the red coming, or the orangey kind of a brown coming through. I think that would be lovely in an autumn chart. So that's Adobe, it's called. I love Classic Colorworks, and I love Weeks Dye Works. I've yet to try the Gentle Arts, or GAST as they're called. So I need to get some of those ordered. And I've never tried NPI silks yet. I'm not sure where I can order them yet. I'll have to try to research, possibly from the States. But I have bought some silk. I bought a hank of silk for pandemic, so I'm looking forward to trying what silk's like to stitch with, because I've heard lots of good things. But I had also heard people talking about sulky. So I went and bought the petite set of sulky, and you stitch it. It says that one strand is like two strands of floss. I picked this palette, which is let me just pull this out. This one is the Rosewood Manor Porch Welcomes. Rosewood Manor Porch Welcomes collection is this one, because of the colors. I thought they would be lovely in a summer chart. And I can possibly hold those up. Yeah, that's not too bad. You get an idea of the colors there. I thought they were really lovely. So I'll be interested to see what they'll look like. So I might stitch those on a 36 count or a 40 count, which is like a 40 count for people is if you're stitching 1/2 on 40 count, that's like 20 count Ada each square, and we are going over 1. I'm trying to remember, yeah, 1/2 exactly. So it's half of it again, because I always think 32 count is 14 count Ada or Aida, but it's actually 16 count Aida. But most of the charts you can stitch on any fabric. And you can always stitch on every fabric. It doesn't matter. I like Aida as well. I have another plan for a chart for St. Patrick's Day that I have. And I think I'll stitch that on Aida just for the change, because it's fun. So that's the Sulky Petites. So I'm looking forward to trying those out. Just leave them there. And then some linens. I got Weeks Dye Works. I've got R&R reproductions. I've got some of those coming. Pictureless Plus is very hard to find at the moment. I'm finding that, well, I know it's the same everywhere because of suppliers of the base fabric for the dyers. But Pictureless Plus, yeah, I'd love to try to see what that's like, because it sounds lovely. So I'll have to try to look into finding that somewhere. So this is Weeks Dye Works parchment. Yeah, it's showing up pretty true actually. Go back a little bit more at an angle. Yeah, maybe at an angle. It's better, like one lady recommended that I show it. Okay, yeah, that go in closer and you'll probably get a better, whoops, focus. Yeah, you're getting, I think, a better picture there. It's like a tea coffee dyed kind of color, and I'm sure you all know it anyway, parchment. And then I got 2 of the Confederate grays. Oh, that one I bought in a 36 count. And this one I have a 40 count and a 32 count, and it is amazing, the difference in dye lots. So yeah, you can see, might be able to see from a distance. Yeah, one is slightly darker than the other. This one's darker, but they're both the same Confederate grey, and it's to do, I think, the way the dye lots are. Or I know that when the dyes go on Aida or Ada, they're a slightly different color to what they are on linen. But this is the 32 count one. That's pretty. Turn it that way, you can see, yeah, that's pretty true to the color actually. And then this is the 40 count, so it's a little bit darker, so I think that'll be lovely. So I was delighted with that. And yeah, I think that's my haul pretty much. Yes. So okay, 36 minutes in, that's not too bad. I haven't got an awful lot more to chat about. I thought I'd show you this just for the fun of it really, and it's nothing to do with cross stitch as such, but this is what I was gifted from my friend Inga for Christmas, and she got one for herself and she got one for my friend Andy as well, because we're a bit like the Three Musketeers, the three of us. And I don't know the name of the artist exactly because it's a gift, but if people were interested, I'm sure I can ask her and find out. But I know it's a local artist here in Berlin, and it's the colors I love. They're quite like the colors of my living room as regards to the decor and some of the paintings I have. But it was the chart itself, and okay, it's an equation. You might like it, you might not like it, but when I took a look, I just laughed because it seemed to sum out our personality so well. So this was the gift, and it's a watercolor. But excuse the glare. But if you look at it, and which one is me is sort of the question. Well, I knew straight away which one is me. It's this one, because this is the way I'm like when I have a new project or a new idea enters my head. I'm like, oh, I've got to get it all done. And yeah, I suppose Inga is the calm one, and then Andy is the person in the middle, just coping with both friends that I have. And I just had to show that because I just thought it was the sweetest thing. So each of the watercolors are painted with the same pattern, but obviously you can never paint a painting identically 3 times when you reproduce it. But I just had to laugh, and I thought you might find it funny. So that was that. Then, okay, so that's sort of haul. Okay, vintage treasures. And then I'll show you the sampler I have. So, whoops. Okay, so this is something I bought at a jumble sale, and it was all crumpled and in a ball, and I washed it and ironed it carefully because I wasn't sure if it's a tablecloth, but it's quite old, and it's not, I don't think it's antique, it's more vintage, but I just thought the colors were gorgeous, so it's going to be hard to see it. Well, whichever lady stitched this, she actually crocheted all the way along the edges, which is, Incredible. So she's done all that, and then the rest of it is cross stitch. And I know that they're the type of tablecloths that the pattern would have likely been on them, and then when you wash them, the pattern goes. So they're following the X's of the pattern, because that's quite popular over here still. People still stitch on towels and make cushion covers and things here, which I know was quite popular, I think, in the 80s and 90s. They still seem to do it here quite a lot, as well as everything from Heids to other designers. There's everybody loves doing different things, but this is, so I'll just lift up part of it and show you. Now I won't be able to see what I'm showing you, so I'll just lift it up. So this is it folded in half. As I said, I can't see what I'm showing. I'll go up a little bit faster. Whoops. Excuse the wobbles. I can show it from this side a little bit more, but there's the pretty little roses in the center, and I just think it's lovely, and the colors are so vibrant even now. And the center then is plain, so that you'd put a vase on it or whatever, but I just thought the colors of that were lovely, and the stitches on it are really sweet. And it's on, obviously, you know, tablecloth linen, so it's very fine. I didn't count it yet to see how many threads it was, but yeah, that's a vintage, one of my vintage finds, and I think it's really lovely. And at the moment I actually have it draped over the banisters in my hall, because it's just cheery and pretty, but I pull it out mainly in sort of spring, summer. But that's a little vintage find. And then the next thing is, well, thank you if you've managed to stay with me this long. And if you do like the video, please do like and subscribe. That would really help me out a lot. And likewise on Instagram, it would be a great help for my fledging little business. But the next thing I do want to show you a sneak peek of is this beauty. So it's a sampler. It's 1863. I've put it on, just mounted it just for this. I have it rolled up in acid-free tissue paper. As I haven't started charting it yet, I'm going to be charting it. And it's very fragile. I bought it in an auction, and it came over by courier, wrapped up and really amazingly packaged. And I need to find out try to research it a little bit. So if there is anyone out there that loves researching and tracing back and trying to find information, please get in contact with me, because yeah, I wouldn't know where to begin really. And even on Ancestry or any of those things, I haven't gone searching for things, but so if you feel like doing that, contact me. Likewise, if anybody would like to model stitch it at any point, contact me and we can chat. But this is because I won't be able to have the time to stitch everything myself. So this is the 1863 sampler. Now I'll just move the chair back and out of the way. And we believe it's a Dutch sampler from the wording up here. It's 1863, and it is extremely fragile. It's fraying like at the top. It's literally falling apart, which is why I'm only pinning it up onto this for the moment, and then it'll be rolled up in tissue paper again. But isn't it gorgeous? It's the most colourful of the 3 antique samplers I have. And I think it's going to be really pretty, and the threads are so vibrant. Now on the back, which you can't see, it's actually faded quite a bit, but you can see a little bit. Look how strong that was on the back, very carefully. So both colours are lovely. So whether or not I actually give the options for the faded, the slightly more faded, or the vibrant one. I might do both in the chart. It'll just take a little while. So that's my antique sampler that I've purchased, and I think it's going to be a beauty. So yeah, so I'm going to try to reproduce that as well as I can, or do an adaptation of it if I can't reproduce it exactly. But it's all cross stitch from what I can see so far. No doubt when I look up and closer, it'll I might find something. But at the moment it seems to be all cross stitch, and it was done in wool on a very, very fine linen. I mean, the linen is just got so thin over the years. So that's a sneak peek of a chart that I'll be coming out with this year. But I would like to get that stitched up as a model, because I think it will look beautiful, and even on the chart. But we'll see how that goes. But yes, so that's the sneak peek so far of the sampler, and I love it. I have another Spanish one, but it's much smaller and it's much more faded, and I need to go through with a magnifying glass to find out what the coloured threads could have been. And I have another little small alphabet one that was quite typical of in Germany, that you see a lot of them in the red work. So that's quite a simple little stitch. Excuse me. Okay, so then right, where am I? I'm working on a design for St. Patrick's Day, and I'm doing a custom chart for a lady as well who's wants a chart for her son and his fiance for their wedding day in May. So I'm sending that off to her at the end of this month so that she can stitch it up. So that's a custom chart. A little call out to people that if anyone wants to learn how to cross stitch, one of the Flosstubers that I really love, well, there's two of them, I mentioned them in my last video, which is Country Stitchers, Deb and Liz. Well, Liz just put up this week a video on where she teaches beginners how to cross stitch, and she's stitching along and talking and explaining. And for learning about cross stitch and just in general everything, yeah, you should just watch the videos. Go right back to the beginning and binge watch them. They're brilliant. And Deb put up a video of her craft room, and I must admit I was so envious because everything is so tidy, and my long arm sewing room is yeah, far from tidy at the moment. But it will get tidied up. I'm at the moment doing end of year paperwork, so once I can get that all off and sorted out, then yeah, I'll get my long arm machine revved up again, and yeah, get some the next cross stitch chart out as well. And a call out that I haven't mentioned before in my last video is obviously Saltbox stitcher Carol. She's put a video out last week as well, and if you want to see samplers, anyone that loves samplers and maybe isn't familiar with her, go and watch her. She is the queen of sampler stitching. Unbelievable. An apology to Ellen Reid, because I in the video said it was Powerhouse rather than Power Hour when I was mentioning you. She's a famous musician that also cross stitches. I did put the right title in the description box in the last video, but I haven't figured out yet how to actually properly link, that you can click the links rather than just have the typing. But I might get there that far in the next while. But it's Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour, not Powerhouse. And yeah, so if you have anyone who has any questions or anything or whatever, like to contact me, leave a comment in the drop down boxes, send me an Instagram message, and my email address I'll put in the description box down below. And the last little thing I'd like to do is just to share a little bit of love for 2021, and so that you could, if you wanted to, have it stitched for Valentine's Day or Mother's Day. Some Mother's Day are in May and other ones are in March, depending on where you live. I'm going to give away 3 PDFs of red roses in chocolate to you. So the way this is going to work is I'll put a post up on Instagram for one, and a comment what the keyword will be in the Instagram. So if you could, yeah, you can reply to that on Instagram. It would be lovely if you liked and followed, but you don't have to for Instagram. And the other 2 I'll put, that's 2 PDFs on this video. So if you would like I'm babbling. If you could get the words out, Martina. If you would like a chance to win one of the 2 PDFs for red roses and chocolate, please put the words red roses and chocolate in your comment. And the usual rules apply. Don't say, and I'm reading what they are because I had to write them down so that I wouldn't forget. Don't say giveaway or free or win or gift in the comments. Be over 18 so that I can have your address. And please be a subscriber and like my video, because that would really help me and it would be great. And I'll try and figure out how to do the random comment generator with YouTube, and if not, I'll use another app to do it. And I'll pick for the YouTube winners. I'll announce the winners in my next video, which will be in about 2 weeks. I'm going to try to do it every 2 weeks at the moment, rather than I was a little bit late on this one. But it'll be, so in 2 weeks time I'll announce in my next video who the winners are from that, and then you can send me your email address and I'll forward the PDF on to you. And in the Instagram one, I'll announce that, the winner of that on Instagram. So if you can keep an eye out within a week on Instagram for your chance to win the PDF. So sorry that doesn't come out the most fluently, but it's the first time I've done a giveaway, so bear with me. But I just wanted to share a little bit of love. We all needed it after the year we had, and Valentine's Day is coming up, and Mother's Day is coming up, and why not? Yeah, and that will stitch up really, really quickly. So I thought you would like it. So yeah, that's I think that's all from me today. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, I'd really appreciate if you'd like and subscribe. That would really help me. And yeah, so stay safe, be safe, keep happy, and we'll all get through this together. Thank you very much. See you till the next time. Bye. Bye. Bye.